talking about the boats that we've had in the past to the current one. Now, the first boat we had was a bow rider, Sunray 169.
Yep. Kiki was in that thing when he was 2 weeks old.
That's right. He was in his seat.
His car seat with a little baby life jacket.
Yeah, between the two seats, the console for the captain and the navigator, if you want,
Passenger, whatever.
Passenger,
Whatever.
and that's where he stayed.
That's right. He
And,
slept the whole time.
Yeah, and
That's
I
where
think
it all began.
that's where we got our fix for the water.
Yeah.
And
Then we got that Doral citation.
yeah, which was the biggest mistake we've had. Not because the boat wasn't good. It's because the boat wasn't made or wasn't.
We realized it's not what we wanted really quick. It wasn't suited for us. It wasn't.
Took us 2-3 weeks and it was done. You know, it's one of those boats that you need to take the table down in order to have the V berth, and
It wasn't practical for us.
no, with 2 kids, just not doable.
And then we got the Bayliner.
Well, yeah, after about a month of having that Doral, our dock neighbor had a Bayliner 2555. Sorry, 2755. And
El Piscator.
the name was El Piscator. It was a 1986 Bayliner.
I like that boat. That was a nice boat.
Volvo Penta, pretty much a GM 350 with a AQ 280 stern drive. That boat we kept it for a long time.
We did.
It was awesome. It was cheap on fuel.
But it only had one motor. And we wanted two.
Yeah, I only had one motor, which made it cheap on fuel. But the space in it for Bayliners,
Oh, yeah. It was
it's just insane.
And then you decided to trade it for my favorite boat
Yes, and then
in our fleet of boats.
after 4 years,
And Kieran's.
after
3 years.
3 years, we swapped.
We got 2-foot-itis. Serious 2-foot-itis.
Yeah, we got 20-foot-itis actually, and we went from pretty much a 30-foot overall Bayliner
To a Sea-Ray 460.
to a Series 460 that measured about 50 foot long and 15 foot wide.
Oh, I missed that boat.
I do too.
And,
That was my boat.
Now, when we bought it, it was quite in rough shape.
I cried.
Yes.
I cried.
Yes, it was.
It was gutted. There was a cat that had been living in it, and you could smell it. It was bad. It was bad.
And the motors were seized.
That's it. She's not gonna float. We're gonna put her in the water. She's gonna sink. We just bought a big old paperweight.
Yeah, and I bought it December 23rd
Yeah, Merry
in
Christmas.
Canada. So, yes, there was quite a lot of snow on the ground.
There was quite a lot of snow in the boat.
Yes, that too.
And not just cockpit.
No,
In
everywhere.
It was
So we got it for a bargain.
peanuts. We
Just a little
did.
bit.
We did.
I cried.
But after
Months. About 5 months.
about 5 months, 400 hours, and quite a few dollar bills,
Blood, sweat, and tears.
yes, we brought it back to life. Rebuilt the motors, rebuilt the generator,
Redid the interior.
redo the interior.
Get seating in the cockpit because there was no seats.
No, it was on fiberglass. The casings for the seat didn't even exist. We didn't even know what it looked like.
We had a company come out and pressure wash that thing about 3 times just to get all the grime off of it.
Inside and out, including engine compartment and
Yeah,
everything.
oh, it was gross. It was bad.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite boat.
And we kept that boat for 4 years.
I missed that.
No, it
4
we came
years.
out 12. It was 3 years before
Oh, before the accident.
the incident.
And
Oh,
once we
this
got
is
the
it.
accident, we got rid of
Sailboat.
it, sold it to a
Wasn't an
gentleman
accident. Long story short, someone stole it, ran it on ground, tried to set it on fire.
to cover their tracks.
They did a piss poor job at that.
And stole our dinghy in a process.
And stole our dinghy. Did we ever get that back?
No.
Yeah. Yes,
We
we
did?
did. Yes, we did.
I didn't remember if we finally got that
no,
back.
We got that back.
Got a burnt boat back though.
Yeah.
That
So
was
we
fun.
sold it to a guy named Robert. And I think our old Sea Ray is still floating somewhere.
It's somewhere I think down in Florida. She went back home where she originally came from.
That's right, because the guy we bought it from bought it in Florida and drove it all the way back to Montreal. And
When we sold it to
Robert,
he took it down to the Chesapeake, and then
and
they
then
moved down to Florida.
I think he took it down to Florida.
I believe so, or maybe he sold it in the Chesapeake. I don't remember.
I'm not quite sure.
Hopefully, she's still floating somewhere, and someone's still enjoying her, because
Yeah.
that was my favorite boat.
And then here came the argument of the century between me and Ann.
Well, it became, I needed a boat for the springtime, because after all that BS with the
yes.
insurance company and the investigation, finally, okay, here you go. It's done for and over with. I needed a boat, and it's like
So,
March, and I
Yeah.
wanted to be on the water, so I made.
well, wait.
We both kind of made the exact
So
decision.
it was either a sailboat or
Right.
we never had a fly bridge
Or Sedan bridge, yeah.
or Sedan bridge or something, a boat with 2 levels.
So we went for that.
So we went for our boat that was called Capella.
Yeah, she was 36.
She was 36 overall. She was
Bayliner. She was nice. It was nice.
She was beautiful. It was a 3255 model, 1981, that had completely been redone
Yeah.
on
yeah,
the hull
yeah.
side.
Even the transoms were done. It was
2
she was
brand new
beautiful.
motors, AC generator.
She was a good boat.
The V berth was so big that it didn't matter which way we slept.
We still had room.
We had tons of room, and we could have had a 3rd person in there.
We realized very quickly, though, that the Sedan bridge is not for us.
No.
It had twin stern drives instead of shafts. Don't
That's
get
a
me
boat
wrong.
you need a bow thruster for trying
Yes.
to dock her in windy weather, because
It's that boat was impossible to dock in wind.
it wasn't impossible. It was.
Well,
It was. Tricky.
I docked it,
It was
but it took everything I knew about boating and docking in order for me to put
Yes.
her in her slip.
And then that summer, you decided, well, I'm going to sell this and buy a sailboat, and I was not impressed.
But
Oh,
to keep this fair, she also did not like that boat.
I love the boat. I just didn't. The whole Sedan bridge, the idea to me was great, but
Yeah.
no, it's nice bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Not practical for the type of boating we do.
No.
So this one decides to go and make us wind ferries.
Because we go out no matter what the weather is.
We do.
So
Weather doesn't stop
a sedan bridge or a 2-level bridge going out in 25 knot winds is just not
It's
practical.
not a good idea.
So I said, I knew that sailboats were a lot sturdier and a lot more comfortable. And not as fast, but a lot more comfortable. And that's when we went out and we bought a Tycon 30. So it's a 30-foot sailboat.
And I cursed. And I swore.
And, she called us every name in a book.
We're turncoats. I'm not going to be a damn wind fairy. Blah, 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 blah. You and Dave tried to convince me, and you're going to love it. Blah, blah, blah.
And yeah, she pretty much, it was a big no, even when the boat was in the water.
It was a whole lot of no for me.
And actually, the first time,
I took the helm at one point. I got fed up and I went, okay, what is this all about? And I took the helm.
and we were in about 3-4 foot waves.
Yeah, and she was probably, it wasn't too windy. It was like 20 knots of wind.
Yeah.
Oh, we were in a 40 acre.
Yeah.
And I fell in love. And he has a video of me saying, I am sorry I ever knocked this.
That's right.
That's when I fell in love with sailing.
And
Yeah.
and then we kept that boat for 2 years.
And then he decided to sell it and buy a bigger one.
And
Do
literally
you see a theme here? He likes to sell our boats and
Buy bigger.
buy bigger.
yeah.
But I wasn't going to buy a 45 foot boat, a sailboat, if Anne was totally against it.
Yes, you would have.
No,
Yes, you would have.
But anyway, so we ended up buying this 30 foot, and about 2 years in, after tons of modifications to it, now we have a thief, a camera thief. But
Can you see me now?
so
I'm waiting.
so we
My daddy.
on the whim, I put Lionheart, which is the Tycon 30, on Kijiji, and hold and behold, there
First couple that came to see you bought it.
yeah, we had 3 people that come and see it, and all 3 were interested, and the first couple gave us a deposit, and that was the end of it. And I think I could have sold that boat 3 times.
Probably.
Because all 3 couples that came wanted it, and
Well,
and I said I don't.
They got their sea trial really quick because we were at anchor.
Jesus.
A storm came in. We were dragging. We were with another friend. You went to go pick them up at the marina in dinghy.
Yeah.
They showed up at the boat, and I went, "Sorry, not sorry. Sit down. Either help or just stay put because we got to go."
So the wife decided to go down, and
She had
the
a glass
son,
of wine, I believe, and the son and the father
decided to
haul up
help
the
us,
anchor.
and that was awesome, guys. Actually, if
They
you're
did a great
watching
job.
this, thank you very much. We still remember that day like it was yesterday, and
They got
we had
a
an
3-hour
awesome.
sea trial.
That's
we
right.
went sailing. It was a good time.
And we had an awesome time with you guys. Like, they were really nice people,
Oh, they're great
genuine
people.
people. And it was one of the better, I think, better times we've had selling a boat.
Yeah, that was pretty. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
actually,
whether you like it or not, you're getting a sea trial. We gotta go.
yeah. Actually, I can't even say that because when we sold Capella, the gentleman that bought it kept on inviting us over.
Yes, he was awesome. We'd be out every weekend on the boat.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
Between him being scared of the boat, Gary, being scared of the boat.
I don't think he was scared.
Well,
Maybe he just didn't know.
Yeah, the lack of confidence, let's say. And everything, we ended up being on a boat for the rest of the summer, even if we bought it in August.
Yeah.
And
we finished out the season on the boat. It was pretty cool.
yeah, and
awesome.
same thing for Bayliner, quite nice people.
Yeah.
And
then we bought
and then I managed to
Capella.
negotiate
Capella,
with a gentleman
that we bought.
that we bought Capella off of.
Yeah.
And again, Capella was in decent shape. It
She was in
floated
good shape. She
and
needed some upgrading for sure.
She definitely
for sure.
needed some TLC.
But she was in very good shape. Well maintained. The gentleman was meticulous with,
We did nothing
his
to the boat,
logs
and we
and-
brought it out for my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, and I sold Lionheart on a Saturday. They were picking it up on the Monday.
They hung out with us a couple of
So
weekends.
sorry,
too,
they were
weekends.
picking it up the next Saturday.
Yeah,
but
something
we
like that.
needed a boat for that Friday because it was our son Kieran's birthday.
And he was having friends on board.
And
that
he was having
weekend.
friends on board,
We
and we're
needed a
going in
boat.
the islands.
We
So
needed a
we
boat.
needed a boat, and I negotiated the price. We agreed. I paid for it.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Signed, seen, delivered for Wednesday. We dropped it in the water Thursday morning.
The gentleman came down and he helped you with the rigging and
Yeah,
all that,
helped
set her
us
up
and
and make
everything.
sure everything was good to go.
Yeah, that we
That
put
was
the
much
mast on the
appreciated.
boat because the mast was off of it.
Got the sails on.
Got the sails on and everything all set up, and left Iroquois to go to Gananoque, which is about a 12-hour sailboat ride.
Yeah.
We
You got a
le-
motor because you can't sail it that way. Usually,
Yeah, so
Wind's on your nose.
we left at 2:00 in the afternoon.
you and Patrick
Me and a good friend Patrick.
didn't even know if the running lights work. No, nothing. Did the lights work? I don't know.
Yeah, as we're going down river, literally, he says, "Does the GPS work?" And I push on the button. It doesn't
Nope,
work. I
overboard.
take it and I make it. Let's see if it floats, and I throw it at the boat. My buddy's like, "What the hell? That was the only GPS on board."
We
Like,
have
oh well,
avionics.
we
Okay.
got other stuff. And
We
then
have
he
our
says,
phones.
"Well, do you know if the lights work?" I don't know.
Flip a
Let's
switch
try
to
it.
Well, that sounds healthy.
So
Yeah, you boys had quite the ride. Apparently, it was.
Yeah,
Patrick
after-
still talks about it to this day.
yeah,
That was-
after
few years
for
ago.
myself, I had like 33 tall boys.
Thank God
during that
Patrick
trip.
was there to be able to, take over.
Sure. And
Showed up on the Saturday. I tried to scrub the boat a little bit to get some grime
yeah.
off.
And then we
because
we
she'd
had
been
4
sitting
kids
in
on
the-
board.
She had been sitting on the hard for, I believe, 2 years.
2 years,
was it?
3
About
years, yeah.
2 or 3 years. But I mean, it was just normal, grimy.
That's right. And then
Kids had a great time.
And then Friday, the kids showed up, and we literally left for the islands with the boat that we didn't know nothing about.
Nope.
And now we have our boat.
Yeah, but also in the process of all of this, we bought secondary boats.
For me.
Well, we
So-
had, yes, because we got the Mirage.
So we had a
Love that
Mirage
boat.
24
Breakaway.
Breakaway, yeah.
which was for Kieran. Kieran was a little young and
Didn't
a
want
little lack of confidence. So
Yeah.
it. Not that he didn't want it. I think he was a little afraid of it. And now,
It was because of the tiller.
probably.
well, that's all right.
And then we
Tyler
had,
used it.
Yeah.
Tyler used it a lot.
Yeah,
And then we also bought a Newport 27,
yeah.
which we now
That
sold.
was a nice little boat. Yeah, we
And
sold that one.
boat was,
Great
to be
little
honest
boat.
with you, great boat, fast boat. It
Have
was
fun
built
with
by
it.
Newports are built by CNC. Stephen and
Brain fart.
brain fart, but you guys know
No
what I'm talking about. No. So yeah, we had those two, and
We have now sold those two, and we just have.
yeah, now they're sold.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then that's on top of having.
Now it's a Sea-Doo next.
Well,
That's what you want.
and the side boats on top of it, we've had 3 dinghies, including the one we have now,
Yes.
and we've had 4 Sea-Doos.
Oh,
About to
that's
be
with the
5.
other boats. It's not with this boat.
Yeah, but
over the
meaning
years.
over the years, these were the toys or the
Yeah, we've had
sides,
4 CDs.
and a few kayaks, and
Yeah, we had our kayak.
actually 3 kayaks at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not the lack
We
of
like the water.
floating. We just love the water, living on the water. You know, there's nothing better than waking up in the morning and having a swimming pool all around you.
I got the world's largest swimming pool.
So the question is, what boat did you like the most and why?
If I go, it's a little self-explanatory. Did you see her?
I did.
She was huge. She was
built her.
beautiful. It was.
A FICA.
She was a fighter. I
And
love
what's
her.
the second boat you liked the most?
I love the Tycon. Once I started, like, okay, I'm cool with sailing. I'm good. I love that boat. She was so sturdy. She was so well laid out. She was so spacious.
So you'd pick the
inside.
Tycon on top of Capella right now?
Layout wise, yes.
Really? Okay.
I loved how how the SETI the mast was not right in the middle. It
Yes,
wasn't
that was a
deterrent.
bonus. That was a
It was
bonus.
in the head. The head was also the closet. Was also part of the V berth up front. That was very spacious.
Yes.
Kieran's the aft cab. Well, not the aft cabin.
Cuddy cabin.
Quarter berth.
His quarter berth. It was, I think, bigger than what he's got now.
No.
No, but just the way there was no shelves hanging out. There was no it was more spacious, and it was very comfortable because I had slept there a few times. It was.
The thing is with the boat that we have now, we have private quarters for our son,
Which is nice.
and for us, for ourselves, and that's one of the reasons I love the CNC Landfall 38 layout.
I do love Capella. Don't get me wrong.
You know, like Kieran wants to be by himself or watch TV.
At least
or
he
something.
can,
He can
close
the
his door and have his own personal
and
space.
We can be in the SETI and he can be in his room, and we're not infringing on each other's personal space. And same thing for us.
I think he's getting fed up of holding the phone.
For 17 minutes.
Oh dear Lord!
Well,
But yes,
I'm gonna
no,
say,
that one was my favorite. I mean, I do love Capella. Don't get me wrong. If I got number 1, she will always be number 1 for me. That was.
if you could put a stick in the middle of a FICA,
We'd almost need a catamaran for that.
I would
To
pull.
get that
I agree, but to date, my best boat.
What's your
I'm gonna
favorite
say
boat?
Capella.
Yeah.
Capella, just because of the speed she has
She's fast.
with the cost to maintain her and to run her compared to a FICA.
Compared to a Papa.
Okay,
no,
well,
for sure.
FICA was like thousands per summer, where this is hundreds.
Yes. Capella costs us on average $400 in fuel a year. We put about,
$400 in fuel a year.
yeah,
$400.
$400 Capella. Yes.
Oh, Capella. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about a FICA for a second. I was about to say, and where were you that summer?
And the FICA on
20,000.
Our first summer
was $25,000.
was $25,000
in fuel. Our second summer
Mind you,
was
you-
about 14.
Mind you, you were not gentle on the throttle that summer.
I
You
was
just
never
wanted-
gentle.
I was never gentle.
I was never gentle.
Never.
But if you got it,
Each his
flaunt it,
own.
right? So,
If you got a flood, it was just we just wanted to go
so
fast.
this is the resume of the boats we've had, and I think
Sorry, it's so long.
and the next boat that we're going to get is probably going to be
43 foot.
43 or 48 Landfall.
48.
And,
Center cockpit.
Well, a 43 is a center cockpit.
Yeah.
A 48 is a pilot house with dual helm. Both of them are sloops, and that's what we're aiming for. So
We'll see.
let's cross our fingers.
Fingers
and
crossed.
See if we get it.
We'll see what we find.
So, see you next week, guys. If you guys want to help us without doing much at all, please click like and subscribe. And possibly that little bell to get notifications next time we put out a video. Thanks, guys.